There are lots of sayings that ring true, and learning from your mistakes, that's certainly one of them. And I've certainly made a few of those in my gardening horticultural career. So let's have a look at the mistakes that I have learnt from. Hello, I'm Rosie Hardy. This is Rosie Hardy Gardening. To start off with, when I first got into horticulture, I actually specialised in growing field-grown vegetables. Now, whatever you grow in the ground, in containers, the soil science is always the same. However, I soon got to the point where I thought, you know what, I'm not really keen on this, and I should have gone with my passion, which was perennial plants. Plants for the garden, things that you grow, which have got beautiful flowers and that sort of thing. I'm not saying that vegetables are not beautiful, but I have much more passion for growing my herbaceous perennials than I ever did for growing the field-grown vegetables. I'm glad I listened to myself and went, no, that's a mistake. Carry on and go that direction rather than staying with the vegetables. Another big one that I soon came to grips with was using chemicals and sprays, both commercially and for myself in my own garden. It is something that, having worked in an experimental station and using a leaky backpack, using very high rates of chemical, all of those chemicals that I used are now banned. These were things for rust on onion and some horrible chemicals. And in those days, PPE wasn't even thought about. So not only was it a leaky backpack, I was in my shorts, in a t-shirt, no gloves, no respiratory stuff. So there was no face mask, nothing like that, no goggles. The only thing that probably saved me was that I always, in the summer, wear my sunglasses. But it soon sort of struck me that these chemicals are not nice and they, really shouldn't be used. So when we had the nursery and we were still using a bit of insecticide and a bit of fungicide around the place, I wasn't actually doing the spraying by then. One of our members of staff was, who had their certificate. They would be wearing full over clothing, a respirated mask and all of the stuff that you need, big long gauntlets, etc. And I did say to her, I says, are you happy spraying? Are there any chemicals you don't want to spray? And very, very early on, we stopped using neonicotinoids, and then gradually we just reduced it down. We increased the biological controls within the tunnels. And basically, we've just stopped using chemicals on the nursery. We use biopesticides, biofungicides, all of that sort of thing, which is much better for the environment. It's much better for all of the beneficial insects and bird life and everything else like that. So that is one big thing that I learnt. Don't spray everything. Plants will live. They can, they can afford one or two little bugs on them, and then that's the food for something else. So I really do try and keep on that side, no spraying, only using biopesticides and biofungicides. Quite a long time ago, we had a very good customer who was also a great friend, Charlie Hornby, and he came into the nursery one day and was sort of complaining. He says, some of your plants are very drawn, they're a little bit upright. What are you doing about your spacing? Well, we thought we were spacing quite well with our plants. We were putting them down and they had a little bit of a gap between them. But what he was actually suggesting was that no, we should be doing them, put them all down and then take every other one out so that you get that type of spacing. So a much better form of spacing. What we were actually doing when we were laying out the plants was that our plants would be in containers like this, and we would be laying them so that they weren't pot thick, they weren't like that, they were like this, and then the next row would be here. So we thought that was quite a reasonable spacing, but in actual fact, no, what he was trying to say to us was we needed to make them bigger. So what we actually were going to do was that if you were to put those in like that, you take that one away and put that one there, the plants then get a better airflow through them. That makes them healthier. The plants then have enough light. They're not being drawn up and becoming leggy. And so with a lot of the bigger container stuff, we now space them out far more, and they're much better and much happier. So I'm really glad that we listened to Charlie and we took his advice about the double spacing. Something else that goes with the fact of spacing is also our change from using square pots to using round pots. Firstly, plants don't grow in cubes. They grow round, you know, the clumps are round, their roots go in a round area. So therefore, we feel here on the nursery that actually plants are happier in a round container rather than in a square one. Now, why would it make any difference when you are talking about plants and spacing is that if they are in a tray, the reason why a lot of plants are grown in square pots is that you get more in a tray. That's absolutely fine. But the thing that we find with the round pots is when you look at it like this, these are really close together. These have got space around them, so it always means there's a little bit more airflow and a little bit more gap around a plant in a round pot. So that is our feeling. We have square pots here because, you know, we reuse and renew, but we don't grow our own plant material in square pots. Plants are basically circular, and then they have got roots that go around, and therefore something which is round is a much better environment for them to grow in. Okay, oh yes, we have over the years launched a lot of new plant material, and we do get asked to launch all sorts of things. Some plant material is grown in the UK, bred in the UK. Other plant material is bred in other countries and grown in other countries. So we've always tried to stay, or eventually tried to stay, and learnt quite early on to stay with the British breeding, stay with the British plants, because we're a British nursery, therefore it is better to highlight British horticulture. Not saying there's anything wrong with the other plants, but it's just better from our point of view. And I remember we grow herbaceous perennials. That's what we're known for, that's what we specialise in. So I was asked to launch at Chelsea Flower Show a euonymus called Harlequin, which is one of these little low growing ones with variegated leaves, and then it comes out with these virtually white variegated leaves on the top. Not one of my favourite plants at all. But we were asked, and it was a hit, and people loved it, and we sold loads of it. But I realised from that I'd made a mistake. We needed to stay with launching herbaceous perennials, not shrubs, because we're not known for shrubs. So therefore, after that, we stopped launching anything that wasn't what we would grow ourselves on the nursery. Over the years, we have sort of managed to try all sorts of different ways of propagating plant material, and one of the key ways of propagating plants at this time of the year in the early spring is by root cuttings. Now originally there was an awful lot of root cuttings that had to be pencil thick. You had to have them orientated so that the way that if they were, your plant top was here and the roots were going down here, you needed to know which was the top of the root and which was the bottom of the root, which means you have to cut them in a correct way so you have a flat top and a diagonal at the base. That way it also fits into a plug much easier. So we looked at it all, and then by mistake, just literally by mistake, we meant to do some root cuttings off some bare root material, and unfortunately one of the girls just cut it all up and then gave it to the propagator in a complete mess. So she had no idea what the orientation was, what it was, and it happened to be Anchusa Loddon Royalist, and normally we would take quite thick roots of that and we would orientate it the correct way, and so all she could do was just try. And so she just literally lay it all flat. She used bigger roots, she used smaller roots, and amazingly they all took. So it took away that bit of mystification saying that you've got to take this size, you've got to do them that way. So now we know we can take smaller roots, we don't have to do the orientation, we can just lay them flat on trays, and we're getting just as good root cuttings from that way of doing it. So those are a few of the mistakes that I have learnt, or we have learnt here on the nursery. And going forward, I'm sure there will be others that we will learn from as well. It is a good saying, you do learn from your mistakes, and it makes you think, it makes you try different things. Thank you very much for watching, and please do subscribe to the channel.